because today we're going deep on something that is just everywhere right now.
Yeah.
Generative AI, it's the AI that isn't just, looking at data, but it's actually like making stuff. Creating things, exactly.
Yeah.
And get this, we were looking into this, and over a third of companies are already using this stuff.
Wow.
And by 2026, that number is supposed to be over 80%.
It's wild.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And those stats are from McKinsey and Gartner.
Yeah, that's not surprising. I mean, it really does feel like it's changing everything.
It really does.
It's not just like a, passing tech thing.
Right.
It's like fundamentally changing how industries work, and it's happening so fast.
Yeah, it feels like every day there's a new headline about some AI writing a movie script or composing a symphony or even like designing like a whole virtual musician or something.
It's a lot to keep up with.
It's a lot, and that's why we're here, right?
Exactly.
To break it all down.
Yeah, to help everyone understand what's actually going on.
So you walk away and you're like, okay, I get it.
You got it.
All right.
So I guess to start off, maybe we should just define what makes generative AI so different from, the AI we've been hearing about for years.
Okay, yeah, because AI's been around for a while.
Right. Like when you think about AI a few years ago, you probably thought about things like, those recommendations you get on Spotify or Amazon or...
Right, or like spam filters.
Yeah, exactly. Spam filters.
Like that's helpful, but it doesn't really feel creative.
Right. Not really. No.
It's not what you think of when you think of like creative AI.
Yeah, this is totally different. Generative AI is about like actually creating something new, whether it's writing a poem or composing music or even making a video.
Whoa. So instead of AI just suggesting a movie, I might like on Netflix, it could like write a screenplay.
Yeah, or even direct the whole movie.
Really?
I mean, that's where things are heading.
Wow.
And it's all powered by these things called AI models.
Okay.
You can think of them kind of like specialized brains. Each one's trained on a massive amount of data in a specific area.
So like ChatGPT, that's a model, right?
Yeah, ChatGPT, that's a great example. It's a large language model.
LLM?
Yeah, LLM, exactly. And it was kind of the thing that kicked off the whole AI boom in 2022.
It seems like it's everywhere.
It is, and it's powerful because it's like having a conversation with an AI that's read the entire internet.
Wow.
It can answer your questions, follow your instructions, even like respond to creative prompts in a way that sounds really human.
That's kind of scary.
It is a little bit.
But it's not just chatbots, right?
Right.
There are other models that are doing crazy things with like images and music and even videos.
Oh, yeah, tons of them, and they're getting better all the time.
It's moving so fast.
It really is. Like, think about image models like DALL-E 3 or Midjourney Stable Diffusion.
I've heard of those.
You literally type in a description like a robot riding a dinosaur through Times Square.
Okay.
And it just makes it for you.
Wow.
Creates an image.
So it's like having a personal artist on demand.
That's a good way to put it.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and it's not just images either. Like, AI can generate music in any genre you can think of.
Really?
Complete with melodies, harmonies, lyrics.
No way.
It's true. Like, platforms like Suno or Boomi are putting that power in everyone's hands.
So like anyone could be a musician now.
Kind of makes you think, like, what does that mean for the future of music, right?
Right, like if AI can create a whole symphony, what happens to orchestras?
Yeah, big questions.
And it's not just music either. We're seeing similar stuff happening with video.
Oh, yeah, video generation is exploding right now.
Like what kind of things?
Like Runway, for example, is letting people create animations and manipulate footage and even generate completely new video from a text prompt.
Wait, so you could type in like a cat wearing a spacesuit flying through a nebula?
And Runway can make a video of that.
For real?
Yeah, it's still early days, but the potential is huge.
That's wild.
And then it gets even more futuristic.
Okay, how?
AI agent frameworks.
What are those?
So these tools like LangChain and AutoGPT, they let you build AI agents that are kind of like super-powered assistants.
So instead of having separate AIs for writing and music and video, these frameworks combine all that.
Exactly. Imagine like one AI agent that can research a topic online, write a script based on that research, and then generate a soundtrack and a video to go with it.
Wow.
All done by one AI.
So it's like having a whole team of creative experts all powered by AI.
Right.
That is mind-blowing.
And that's just the beginning. I mean, there are already some amazing real-world examples of this stuff in action. Like, have you heard of Ben Gaia?
And Gaia, is that the virtual musician?
Yeah.
The one who's like topping the chart?
That's him. He's a virtual artist, like completely AI created. His look, his music, his vocals, his videos, all made by AI.
Hold on. So there's a musician out there performing?
Yeah.
And his whole existence is thanks to AI.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
It really shows you the future of creative work. I mean, we're not just talking about theory anymore. AI is making real projects happen right now.
I mean, it's wild to think, like, we're living in a time where an entirely virtual musician can exist.
It really is.
And not just exist, but like make music and perform.
I know. And like you said, Bengaya is just one example of how all these different tools can be combined to create something totally unique.
And speaking of all these different tools, it does feel like there's a new one, like popping up every day.
Right.
It's kind of exciting, but also overwhelming, especially if you're like new to all this.
Yeah, it definitely moves fast. But the good news is that a lot of these tools are really easy to use.
Okay, that's good.
You don't need to be like a coder or anything to start creating with them.
So for someone listening who's like maybe feeling a little intimidated, where would you suggest they start?
I'd say just start with what you're most interested in.
Okay.
Like, are you into visual art?
Oh.
Then check out Dall-E or Midjourney. Play around with creating images from text prompts. Or if you're passionate about music, try composing different genres and styles using something like Suno or Boomi.
I like that. Just find what sparks your interest and just start playing around.
Exactly.
And then as you get more comfortable, maybe explore those more advanced frameworks like LangChain and AutoGPT.
Yeah, those frameworks can really take things to the next level.
Like, it's like going from playing an instrument to conducting a whole orchestra.
Perfect analogy.
Okay, so speaking of a symphony of tools, I am curious about these AI agents.
Yeah.
Like, how do they actually work? Can you walk us through like a real-world example of how you might use something like LangChain?
Sure.
Like to do a task?
Let's say you're planning a trip to a new city.
Okay, I love to travel.
Instead of jumping between different websites and apps for booking flights and hotels and activities,
Right, that's a lot.
you could have a LangChain agent do all that for you.
Really?
You just tell it something like, plan a 5-day trip to Paris, focusing on historical landmarks and French cuisine, and stay within a budget of $2,000.
And the LangChain agent would just go out and do all that?
Yeah, it would scour the internet.
Wow.
Pull in information from all these different sources.
And then, like, give me back a complete itinerary.
Exactly. It would book your flights, reserve your hotel, suggest restaurants and activities, all based on your preferences.
And it would make sure it stays within my budget.
Yep, all taken care of.
That's incredible. It's like having a personal travel agent powered by AI.
Pretty much.
But with all this talk about AI, like automating tasks and creating content, it makes you wonder, what does this mean for the future of work?
Yeah, that's a big question.
Like, are we all going to be replaced by robots?
Well, I don't think it's quite that simple.
Okay.
I think instead of viewing it as like humans versus AI,
Oh.
it's more helpful to think about it as like a collaboration.
So more like humans with AI.
Exactly.
Okay.
AI can automate those repetitive tasks, you know?
Yeah.
Freeing up humans to focus on the more creative and strategic and interpersonal aspects of work.
So it's like using AI to enhance our capabilities, not replace us.
Right. Like calculators didn't replace mathematicians.
Right, yeah.
They just gave them a more powerful tool.
That's a good point.
And in a lot of cases, AI can even create new jobs.
Oh, really?
Like, think about all the people who are now working as prompt engineers or training AI models or developing new AI applications.
That's true. Those jobs didn't even exist a few years ago.
Exactly. So it's not necessarily about AI taking jobs away.
Okay.
It's more about the landscape of work changing.
Right.
And requiring us to adapt and learn new skills.
So it's like embracing lifelong learning and being open to new ways of working alongside AI.
I think that's key.
This is all fascinating, but it does raise some big questions about the role of like human creativity in a world where AI can seemingly create anything. Like if AI can write music, paint masterpieces, and even design virtual musicians like Bengaya, what does that mean for human artists and musicians?
It's a time of big change for creative industries, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Some people see AI as a threat, others see it as an opportunity.
So it's not like a simple black and white situation.
Not at all. I think instead of fearing AI, we should be exploring ways to collaborate with it.
Okay.
AI can be a source of inspiration, a tool for experimentation, a way to push the boundaries of what's possible.
It's like having a brainstorming partner.
Yeah.
Who can generate endless ideas.
And help you see things from a new perspective.
But just like any tool, it's up to us to use it responsibly and ethically.
That's a really important point, and that brings us to another crucial aspect of all this.
Okay, what's that?
The ethical considerations around generative AI.
Right, we've talked about the potential impact on jobs. But what about the broader societal implications of AI creating things that we used to consider like uniquely human?
It's complex. There are so many nuances. As
Ah.
these systems get more and more sophisticated, we need to think carefully about questions of ownership, authenticity, and the potential for misuse.
Like who owns the copyright to a song or a painting created by AI?
Ex-
Or what happens when someone uses AI-generated content to like deceive or manipulate people?
Those are big questions, and we need to have open and honest conversations about them as a society.
It sounds like there's a lot of work to do.
There is, but it's important work.
Yeah.
We need to harness the power of this technology for good while also being aware of the risks.
Well, we've covered so much ground in this conversation.
Yeah.
From like the technical stuff to the creative impact to the ethical questions.
It's a lot.
It's clear that this technology is changing everything.
It really is.
But before we get too far ahead, let's circle back to Bengaya for a minute.
Okay.
The virtual musician we were talking about.
He is a fascinating case study.
He really is.
A perfect example of how far generative AI has come in such a short time.
I'm curious to learn more about how he was actually created. Like, what were the key steps and which tools were used?
Yeah, how did they bring this virtual musician to life? Well, they started by creating his visual identity. They used Midjourney to come up with his look.
Oh, so that AI image generator.
Yeah, exactly.
So they just like typed in descriptions of what they wanted him to look like.
Right, like imagine them typing something like a musician with soulful eyes and like a hint of rock star swagger.
Okay.
And then Midjourney would give them a bunch of different options.
And then they could kind of refine those descriptions until they landed on something that really captured like the essence of Bengaya.
Yeah, they had this vision in their minds, and Midjourney helped them make it a reality.
At least visually.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. That's so cool.
So once they had the look down, they needed to figure out how to make him actually make music.
Right. How'd they do that?
That's where the AI music generators come in. They used Suno.
Oh, okay, the one we talked about before.
Yeah, they could tell Suno things like the genre, the mood, even specific instruments they wanted to hear.
Okay.
And then the AI would compose original music based on all that.
Wow. So like the AI was the composer.
Pretty much.
So they didn't need a human composer at all.
Nope. In this case, the AI was the composer.
That's incredible. And what about the vocals? Did they like hire a singer to record the songs?
That's the really wild part. They use Suno for that too.
Really?
Suno can generate singing voices, so they created a unique voice for Bengaya.
No way. So there's no human singer involved?
Nope, it's all AI.
That's crazy. So they had the look, the music, the vocals, all made by AI.
Yeah.
What about the videos, though? How do they actually show Bengaya performing?
For that, they probably used a mix of AI tools like Runway and then regular video editing software.
Oh, okay.
Remember how Runway can create those animations and generate scenes based on text?
Right.
They could have used that to create virtual stages for Bengaya to perform on or even make entire music videos.
Wow. So they built like a whole virtual world for this AI musician.
Exactly. And it shows how powerful it can be when you combine all these different AI tools.
It's amazing.
It really is.
This whole deep dive into generative AI has been incredible.
It's a fascinating topic.
It's exciting, it's thought-provoking, and honestly, it's a little bit intimidating.
I know, it's a lot to take in.
Like thinking about all the possibilities and all the ways this could change things.
I agree. Generative AI is really going to reshape our world, and it's up to all of us to stay informed and have these conversations.
Yeah, we need to be mindful of the potential downsides, like the impact on jobs and the need for clear ethical guidelines.
Absolutely.
But we also can't ignore the incredible potential.
It's a powerful tool for creativity and innovation.
It really feels like we're at the beginning of something huge.
It does, like a new era of creativity where the lines between human and artificial intelligence are getting blurrier and blurrier.
I'm excited to see what happens next.
Me too.
And to everyone listening, we encourage you to explore the world of generative AI yourselves.
Yeah, there are so many great tools out there.
A lot of them are free.
And you don't have to be a tech expert to use them.
Just tap into your curiosity. Start experimenting. And who knows, maybe you'll be the one to create the next groundbreaking AI project.
That's a great point. Anyone can do this.
Well, that's a fantastic note to end on. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the world of generative AI.
It was my pleasure.
We hope you learned a lot and are feeling inspired to explore this amazing technology further.
Keep learning.
Until next time, keep those creative sparks flying.